Welcome to Pod and Long. I'm your host, Ryan. It's great to have you with us. I'm here with one of my co-hosts. It's the Word of Drew.
I can't wait to, after watching the Raiders this past weekend, I can't wait to talk about the hard-hitting things that matter on this show, like Victor Wembanyama's impending MVP campaign.
Also here with Dynamite Droppin', Mr. Mike.
Well, it seems to be things are going pretty well for one of the team that ends in Ets, and I think the other Ets team is having a rough go of it.
Okay, all right.
Somehow, frankly, I'm amazed that Hackett lives.
Hackett lives. And I'm also here with our other co-host. It's Mr. Megastar Mark.
Did someone say my name? Because let me just tell you one thing. I was playing Candyland all day, and I think there's some news that broke. I'm not sure. People have been blowing up my phone. I was in Molasses Swamp.
All I know is I just found a clue.
The more we do the Hackett impression, the more he comes out like an old Southern grandma. I'm not sure how that happened, but that's where we're at.
I like puzzles too.
Making peach
He
cobbler.
does not like puzzles. That does not work for
As
him.
long as they're under 50 pieces.
I like them ones, the wooden ones that have a little peg in them, and you put them in the animal. Like, motherfucker, that's a zebra.
You ever go to Cracker Barrel and they play that? There's a little game. I could never figure that out.
I hate that game.
Oh,
There's
shit.
not enough
Down to
little
3
things for the
pins.
squares. I don't
I'm
get
sorry. Nathaniel, we fired Salah. What?
it. Please don't mean. I hope that doesn't mean any more responsibility.
Oh, no.
No, don't worry. It doesn't.
Oh, thank God.
Now it's going to be my fault. Oh, God. All right. Well, we start there. Robert Saleh fired. Oh, my God. I did not have him on my list of first coach
Joe
fired.
Namath strikes again.
Oh, my God. Saleh is gone. In a shock. I don't think anybody saw this
They're
coming.
playing for first place this week. What the fuck? Like,
Ladies and gentlemen, the New York Jets. This is what they do.
This
How
is
are we
idiotic.
shocked by any of this? They
This is
are a
idiotic.
garbage franchise run by garbage people. I'm sorry. They're a clown show, and I'm so sick and tired of it because most Jets fans I know are usually decent human beings.
Yeah.
They don't deserve this level of
no, they
suffering.
don't.
The explanation of like Woody Johnson was Trump's ambassador to England, and he's
Yeah.
embarrassed that they got embarrassed in England, and that's why he
England, yeah.
fired Robert Saleh.
Did you
Is
see that press release where
wild.
he's referred to as Ambassador Johnson throughout?
Yes.
It's
Yes.
fucking weird.
That's why he's fired, because they
Yeah.
lost in England.
Oh my God.
He was embarrassed.
I smell Poochie.
100%.
Oh God, Pucci's
Yeah.
not helping. Pucci's
Yeah.
not helping.
Red paw prints all over it.
He's
Oh,
not
sure.
helping. All right, he definitely
No,
didn't.
he's not helping. And although, listen, some of this, to your point, this is a whole New York owner thing, right? Like, there are rumors out there that the Rangers, the New York Rangers, had a deal in place to acquire some star. I forget who it was, but it would have required them to trade their first round pick. And Dolan refused the trade because it would have meant that the Rangers had no picks at Sphere.
Yeah.
Of course.
So, I mean, is the England ambassador theory really that far fetched?
No, it's real. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
Look, they could have got him a consolation prize and let JD in the straight shot play the Sphere. It would have been fine.
And they have a lifetime residency over there. JD
Out
in
in
the
the parking
straight
lot.
shot.
They can't get a lifetime residency at the Staten Island Civic Center.
They own the Sphere, so of course they could. Right? He's part
That's
owner.
a joke, Brian. That's why it doesn't work. They own it. They still can't play there.
Even he's so bad he can't play there. All right. Well,
No, just
uh,
I don't. This decision makes absolutely no sense. Like we've talked about,
I
this
agree.
before, like Saleh seems like a great coach. He's, the Jets defense is playing remarkable.
Yes.
great coach. I don't know.
Look, he's better than average.
Decent.
He's
Better than
better
Gase.
than average. And
I don't think he deserved to be
fact
fired.
that He's been saddled with, bad rosters and injuries. Zach Wilson for a freaking year, and then gets his OC fired so they can hire freaking Hackett. And apparently, word on the street was he was about to fire Hackett, or he was contemplating firing Hackett after the performance, and instead he gets axed. So again, I smell Poochie.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yes, he got
100%.
word.
That's him written all
He got
over.
word that his boy Hackett was going to get fired, and he went to Woody. He went to Woody and said, "I don't know if I can play anymore. I got to go smoke some ayuasa or whatever." Man,
Yeah.
screw that guy.
Pucci.
And Robert Saleh, please come back. be a defense and help
Can
us.
he come back right now? Is that
He can come
possible?
back right now?
Please come back right now.
And Brandon Staley can go harvest
his life
Satchel
coach.
Richards.
Mhm.
Brandon
With
Staley. I forgot
his
he was
life coach.
on your team.
Yes, with his life. Yes.
Life coach.
Satchel of Richards.
Mm-hmm.
Well, yeah, I don't think anybody saw this coming. Least of which was Robert Saleh himself,
Yeah, really.
who was like went in for a meeting and had to be escorted out of the building.
It's like in Hard Knocks when he puts the door, like, boop, boop, boop. Oh man, I got fired.
Man, I
That
am
one guy.
100% sure that right now Saleh is fuming.
Oh yeah.
Right? Like he got shanghaied. He had no clue this was coming. He's
Mhm.
upset. He's probably mad at everybody in possibly as early as tomorrow morning. What's the degree of relief he's going to feel?
I know, right?
No,
But
he's
again,
home with
I
his
said
like
this-
9 kids, so I'm sure he's not
Yeah.
going to be
I
that
want to
relieved.
say last week we talked about Saleh maybe being at risk.
Drew, you
was-
brought it up. You said Saleh.
Yeah.
Is this going to get blamed on him? I didn't realize it would be less than
This
6
quickly.
days from the.
Days later,
that-
yeah.
Well, and here's the thing: like they lost to a good Vikings team.
Mm-hmm.
Like
Yeah,
it's not
Vikings
they
are
lost to
undefeated.
a 1-4 team here.
Okay.
lost
And they held that defense. They held that
I was gonna
offense.
say,
Nothing. I mean,
Yeah.
they stopped that explosive offense, and Pucci was the problem. He threw 3 picks.
right.
Yeah.
Maybe Pucci should throw those interceptions.
This strikes me though as like they are going to regret this when their
100%.
defense regresses as bad as it's going to regress. I think.
Because I think their defense liked to play for Saleh.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah, he seems to be the kind of dude like people like to play for. Like you don't hear a lot of like he's a cracker coach and he's a jerk. Like it seems to be like they love the dude.
What is the earliest a coach has been fired mid
That's
season
a good-
during season?
That's a
This is
good
pretty
question.
early.
This is
That's a
real
good
early.
question.
I mean,
Not
Reich
even
was,
a third of the way through.
yeah. Just
This
all
is
this
really
so
early.
strange.
I did not have him as first coach
There's-
fired. I could have seen him get fired at the end of the year if they didn't meet expectations. Probably that would have been fair. But wow.
This team just goes in circles. Like they just don't stick with a coach. Like it just Saleh at least had some. He was able to handle the media okay. His defenses were good, and they just once again now. What are you gonna do when Pucci leaves? You're gonna draft a quarterback, start all over again? Like it's insane.
What is who's the guy they're targeting? Like who do they want to be the
Bill
coach?
Belichick.
Belichick? Yeah, it's Belichick.
Oh,
It is
I was gonna say-
Belichick. It's
They
100%.
can't do
Belichick.
that again, right?
Oh, there's no way he's coming back.
Oh, I bet he would.
No,
With
Not
total
to the
control
Jets.
over the team, I bet he would.
no way, because he's not that dumb.
He knows they're dysfunctional. He's not going there.
Nah. I
He
think
was
if
running a
Rodgers
cocktail
stays,
match in the last time, guys.
Okay,
if
then
Rodgers
if
stays, he I think that's a big draw for him.
then if Belichick, why not offer him the fucking job right now? What do you like? You
How do you know that
get him in
hasn't
there?
happened?
Yeah,
Did they try? Maybe.
that
Well,
poor D coordinator.
They did already say that guy would be the coach for the remainder of the
Yes.
season, but
Yeah.
they also said Saleh would be the coach to the remainder of the
Right.
season. So here we
Yeah.
are.
Also,
And,
I had
you
to
know-
look it up. I looked at his name. Like, is that the OK linebacker who used to play in the NFL? And I'm like, oh, it is. How about that? That's okay.
Also-
Look, I think they ought to hire Rich Kotite.
There's only
There's
one
only
phrase we
one
all
phrase.
need to know here, which is by God, that's Ron Rivera's music.
yeah, he's back.
Oh yeah,
Can you
Lucky
imagine if
Rivera
Cody
brought
Ron with
Maryland.
Pucci and the Jets?
Yeah.
At
love
the
it.
very least, they'd be an entertaining watch.
They would
No,
be
but-
entertaining again.
But Ryan, you made a really good point. Like this seems to be the Jets' MO. They routinely keep stepping on their own, stepping on their own Woody Johnsons, if you will, because
Oh,
that was the low hanging curveball I
I
had. to
like
make.
that. You nailed it.
Anyway, they keep. How long have we all been watching football? And how
Long
long have the
enough.
Jets had the same
40 years.
dysfunctional problem
Yeah.
of unable to keep a consistent head coach, ownership meddling in affairs and making really poor personnel decisions? Like at a certain point, I don't understand how these people have made so much money in their lives, but as soon as they become owners, they have this myopic view that, oh, obviously my skill sets translates to this industry and I can totally run it the same way. Like it doesn't work that way.
The last
There's not
time-
been Al Davis was probably the last owner who I'm the owner and I can do shit, but that was like 45 years ago when he was successful.
The last time I grew up in a Jets house, as we've discussed, the last time the Jets were a stable franchise, because I understand they went to the two AFC Championship games with Mark
Yeah,
Sanchez,
with Rex. With Rex on
the last time that they felt like they weren't held together with matchsticks was when Leon Hess was still alive, and he surrendered everything to Bill Parcells.
Parcells, I was going to say, the Parcells years were
were a
sustainable.
solid organization.
Yeah.
That felt sustainable. They went to the AFC title game with Vinny.
Yep.
They got slapped by the Broncos, but that happens. But like, and then right on the heels of that, when Parcells was still kind of hanging around, is when they hired Al Groh for a season. But then like they had some success in the Herman Edward years originally. And then after Leon Hess died and the team got sold, it all went south.
Bill Parcells last coached the New York Jets in the year 2000.
I know.
Yeah.
It's been 24 years of just clown show dysfunction.
Listen, you don't have to tell it to me. The hat is backwards and has been for 22 years.
I need to go get a backwards hat too, given this week. But
I think the Jets just need the calming influence of a Pennington behind center again.
So. Yeah, bring in the Pennington.
Possibly Chad.
Yeah,
it's not like he lost any arm strength. He didn't have a ton in the first place.
Yeah, right. He could still run an offense. He had no escapability either.
Vinny Testaverde's got to have at least a kid at NFL age by now.
Yeah, we got to get a Vinny.
And he played at UAlbany.
Yeah, he did.
Ooh,
he did.
Go Great Dane.
Dumb trivia, and he's since been passed by Drew Brees. But at the time of his retirement, Chad Pennington led forever in completion percentage for a career.
Yeah, I'm not surprised. Like, dude never made mistakes.
He's slightly above the Orton line.
Yeah,
slightly.
Absolutely. His problem was he couldn't throw deep. But anyway, we should probably talk about games that didn't happen.
All right, let's talk about Saleh in his actual game real quick. Was the Vikings went to 5-0. They beat the Jets in London. Darnold didn't look good, but he beat his whole team.
It's so hard to gauge any of these fucking
London
games. Like it
was sloppy.
You know,
it was ugly.
There is one thing I took away from this game watching Pucci, which is especially in the second half, and it dawned on me when it was in the fourth, and he tried to jam that pass into Conklin between three guys in the end zone. And listen, Jerry Rice in his prime might not have come up with that ball. Like, it would have required an all-timer of a catch to grab that with two hands and haul it in. And then I thought, you know what you never, ever, ever have seen Aaron Rodgers do? And Manning did it, and even Brady did it occasionally, and Breeze would do it. You never see him make a throw like that and then look at his receiver and go, hey, me. Like, I shouldn't have laid you out like that. I've never seen him apologize to anybody ever or take responsibility for a mistake he's made. Not once.
And he
hasn't made any mistakes, Drew.
He had 3 interceptions in that game. That last one, I actually don't blame on him because, like, he was trying to make a play. That second one, who the fuck was that to? Like, that was just
awful.
an old man throw. That's what that was. It was just bad. It was horrible.
He's old.
He got hurt. I mean, his leg.
He got annihilated.
Yeah. That was one of my favorite things about it. Saleh came out and said, like, he has a leg injury. He has something wrong with his leg, but we don't think it's a big deal, and we'll deal with it. And then Aaron comes out and goes, "I have a low ankle sprain. It might take a couple of weeks." And you can tell Saleh was like, "You idiot! Like, you fucking."
Well,
they didn't like each other, right?
Oh, like obviously,
seemingly not. Here's the thing. I think with Pucci, I am not. I mean, if there's a betting line on this, I would certainly take it. I don't know if I don't think he finishes the season. I think about halfway through, he's gonna have a quote injury, and he's just gonna give up.
Well, he could.
He's gonna
bring in Ty God, baby.
Money.
Ty God.
You know how much better this team would be with Ty God?
That would be influential.
Honestly,
seriously.
Like, are we at that point? I think we might be.
I think a bigger concern too is like Sauce Gardner got hurt in this game. Quincy Williams got hurt in this game. These are your pillars on defense. You can't be losing these guys. So
both hurt.
Yeah.
We'll see what happens there, but it's not going well. A team we thought for 2 years should be in the Super Bowl picture are just a mess.
And the reason I think they got hurt, by the way, is because of that fucking field that I will always hate with a passion. Like, Sauce definitely got his leg caught in that.
I've said this before in previous episodes. I am incredibly sick and tired of the London games. They're stupid. They're wonky. People always get hurt. It's just a pain in the ass to try to force it into a realm. It's like they're never going to give a crap about American football like they do like European soccer. It's never you're never going to make that dent.
How about 3 more games? Is that good for you? All right, got it.
Nobody cares that I think. We've learned this.
It's just annoying
Were
because
you-
this is the first. We have a lot more on
Yeah,
its way.
right.
Yeah.
And then the not the Bengals, the Panthers and the Giants have to play in Germany. So congratulations to you, Germany.
I heard though that Tottenham field is not shit. Like I guess they did it last year and nobody got crippled like they do in that London field.
As if we haven't sent enough bombs to Germany in the past, we are now sending the Giants. And
So we're sending a turd on fire.
Yeah.
hey, Daniel
Call him
Jones,
the shit
Andy
poop.
Dalton, next on CBS.
Yeah.
And we'll see if Dalton's even still around.
This is part of your pun. This is part of the peace treaty.
Right. You have to take the Panthers.
This is
luck.
your reparations. This is your reparations payment.
Okay, moving on to category. I guess I don't know. Is this the A block
Are
still?
we
I'm
still
not
being
sure.
locked? I was
We're
gonna
still
It
have
might
in
still
to-
be in the A block. Exciting games in the NFL, people. We had the Falcons and the Bucks go to overtime on Thursday night. Can you believe it? An actual good game. Kirk Cousins, 500 yards passing, winner in overtime on a hitch route. Have you ever seen a hitch
know.
route go for a touchdown like
Nope.
that?
That's gonna get him an
Raiding
awful lot
Cole's
of
cash.
cash.
So,
It
The
rained
NFC
Cole's
South.
cash.
The NFC South remains the most enigmatic division in this sport.
yeah.
Yeah. This does kind of remind me of there was several years where when the NFC South was first created, every year there was a new division
Yeah.
champion.
Yeah.
Like, who never shared ever
Right. Yep.
until like the Panthers won twice in like the Super Bowl in their
What
Super
often
Bowl
gets
era.
thought, I mean, I guess it makes sense, but like the team that won the championship the first or the division one year almost always ended up last the next year.
Yeah,
That was
it
such a
always
great-
just flipped.
It's
Yeah,
just so
It's
weird.
like a
Weird
fake
division.
draft order.
Yeah. Right.
it's just everything's time's a flat circle. Anyway, Falcons beat the Bucks. I don't know what it was a great game. Cousins was great.
It's a
I don't
very
know what else.
entertaining game.
What else
I don't
is
know
there
what
to
it
say
means.
here?
Yeah, if you're the Bucks too, don't feel I wouldn't be. I
Yeah.
still think they're going to make the playoffs. I still think they look
Yeah.
good in this game. Defense needs some tweaking, but so did everybody in the NFL. It seems like at this point. So,
Yeah, a lot of bad defense. This game was nuts. Ravens and Bengals.
oh my God,
That
so
game
This was
weird.
like the
bonkers.
game of the
Yeah.
year so far,
yeah.
and somewhat from dumb moves, but man, Lamar was fucking awesome in this game.
Yeah.
And by the way, so was Joe Burrow.
Oh, absolutely.
Joe Burrow
Like,
was
Burrow was
awesome in
the
this
star.
game,
Yeah.
except for his one pick. He was
Yeah.
almost perfect.
Yeah. Right.
And I think it's frustrating because you look at the Bengals and you're like, this is the team they can and should be. And they seemingly just have been a mess.
And then they still lose.
Yeah. They're going to lose a game like this to Baltimore. Like, and I could see them turning around and winning the next, I could see them splitting the series with Baltimore fairly easily.
Agreed.
But the Bengals have just not, they're a frustrating team to watch because I don't hate them. And like Burrow seems like a decent dude. Like he seemed kind of fun at LSU. And like, I'd like to see them succeed mainly because I'd like to see somebody beat the goddamn Chiefs. So we don't have to see their
Agreed.
stupid faces anymore.
It's not going to be the Bengals.
I don't think it's going to be the Bengals. And they had a window where it was. Like, I think they were, and they made the Super Bowl.
It's the Bengals curse. They don't have the money to
Well,
pay
no,
these guys.
It's
We talked about shitty ownership before. That's
Yeah.
what the Bengals have
Bengals.
is horrible ownership. They got lucky and had lucked into 2 great players, and they've taken them a long way. But now the ownership is rearing its ugly head.
and also listen, we're at that point in the season now. Enough games have gone by where it's time to everybody, not just us, everybody has to refocus and stop thinking about what we thought these teams were going to be and start thinking about what they are. And the Bengals are a 1-14.
Yeah,
Yeah,
right.
they're
They are a
1-4.
1-14.
I think what's crazy too is in that game. That was a game that the Bengals have done in the past, where they start off slow and then they got to go on a little bit of a streak,
Yeah.
kind of midway through the year. And when I saw them go up, I'm like, here we go. Bengals are back. Like this is it. And then I came
Yeah.
back and they lost. I was like,
Yeah,
Jesus
I mean-
Christ, this is something to be really concerned about if you're a
They're-
Bengals fan.
Their holder dropped the kick. I mean, they could have won the game. He dropped the kick.
Are there Bengals fans?
Hmm.
Is that
I know.
confirmed?
I know a few.
Okay, all right.
Yeah,
fair
I
enough.
have.
Didn't
I
we
have
see
several.
a Bengals fan at the
I know.
draft that one year?
Yes,
I know two.
yes, we did.
Yep, I've got several in my life. One I work with, we literally are separated by a wall. He's a Bengals fan, huge Bengals fan.
Does he throw stuff at you?
Nah,
That's how
we
you-
just walk
How you
into
pick
the
it up,
office.
nerd?
The new move is after a Sunday, walk in the office. We just look at each other and go, "No." Just keep going. We start work. We just start work and say no to each other. That's a great segue in the A block for us, Drew, because we said we were going to do this. We were going to re-rank this puppy.
Okay.
We're going to re-rank this puppy. So let's see where we're at. Here's where we were. Oh boy. Here's where we were at the beginning of the season. You see your Super Bowl teams were Packers, Niners, Ravens, Texans, Chiefs. Playoffs were, if you're not watching, Cowboys, Eagles, Lions, Falcons, Jets, Dolphins, Bengals, Steelers. Jeff Fisher category, which is
wrong. First one wrong.
Commanders, Cardinals, Rams, Bills, Jags, Chargers. Sad boy category. Bears, Saints, Bucks, Seahawks, Colts, Titans, Browns. We got them this time. Raiders.
On the Browns logo.
I found one. It's a weird logo, but it's there. Diddley Pooers, Panthers, Giants, Vikings, Broncos, Patriots.
There was one glaring error here.
There's a lot of errors.
Just one? This is pretty atrocious.
There's a lot of errors.
Hold on. I would say I would still somewhat agree with the entire Super Bowl category.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, let's go through them one at a time because we did Vikings.
Let's start.
Who were they're in the diddly poo category.
Can
do
we
they now?
move this around, or is this a stagnant picture?
No, we're moving it now.
Okay, good. All right.
Do the Vikings need to move to playoffs?
Super Bowl.
Super Bowl.
You're 5-0.
5-0.
Super Bowl with Sam Darnold?
5-0. That's what they are right now. 5-0.
Super Bowls have been won with Trent Dilfer.
I don't think they're that good anywhere else except for Justin Jefferson. All right, so we're literally split. Playoffs or Super Bowl?
You're the commissioner. You're the
I'm gonna
deciding
go with
vote.
Super Bowl because it's gonna be funny when we have to look at this again. Jets
In 5 weeks when they lose 5 straight.
Jets just fired their coach. Are they sad boys now?
Oh, they are.
I think they have to be.
They are sad boys, as are the Dolphins.
All right, we've made that. We did Falcons. They were playoffs. I think they remain playoffs.
I still keep them in playoffs.
Yeah,
okay, good. All right, we're good with that.
And I might move Bucks up to playoffs. Like it feels like that.
They're not sad boys.
They're at minute. Yeah, I would say at least.
Yeah, I'd put them in there. Yep.
All right,
I would move the Bengals down to Jeff Fisher.
Okay, so Bengals are now Jeff Fisher, not sad boys. Even though
But Diddley Poo or the Dolphins.
And the Ravens remain, right? For now. The Ravens remain. All right. All right.
We want to move the Eagles down one tier.
I think we definitely need to.
Are the
okay,
Eagles
so the Eagles
Jeff
didn't
Fisher
play,
team?
right? So they're Jeff Fisher?
Yeah,
I think so.
Okay. The Eagles didn't play. All right.
The most obvious one. Move my fucking Commanders up. Okay.
No,
they
that's
stop
the playoffs.
there. There you go. Put them in playoffs.
That's
All
fair.
right.
And honestly, this is me saying this about my own team. I would move the Packers down one tier only because the uncertainty around Jordan Love playing, not playing.
I still think they're good.
I still
And
think
they
they're
won.
good too,
And they won.
but I don't feel as competent.
I see what you're
as
saying,
confident being like this is a Super Bowl team.
I agree with that. Actually,
Well, it's going to be tough too because the Vikings have a pretty solid divisional lead right now.
If Love, if Love
Mike.
plays the next 8 games and lights it up, move him right back up.
Yeah, I want the Packers in playoffs. I think they're better.
I agree.
There. I think they will 100% make it. I feel get the Dolphins out of there.
Dolphins are down to a diddly poor.
No, I think they're still a sad boy
Yeah, I
because of
think
the
they're a
looming
sad boy.
potential that Tua returns and makes
If
them
he
respectable.
returns,
Oh my
okay.
God, that's even worse if he returns.
Oh, I know, but that's where we're at.
The Jags, do they need to
Jags
move
are
to sad
diddly
boys?
poo. No, the
Diddly
Jags
poo.
are diddly poo.
100%.
They're terrible.
I don't
The
care if they
Poors?
just won a game.
Also, Browns diddly poo. Move them down.
Yeah, that's a good call, actually.
and frankly, the Broncos have won 3 straight games. I think they move up to sad boy, which is damning with faint praise. But
Giants won again.
No, I keep it.
No, the Giants are still diddly poo.
They are
You can't move
really struggling.
Yeah, you can't call a team with a winning record diddly poo. I don't.
I don't want to do this to our friend Greg B, but the Titans might be diddly poo. Well, Will Levis is terrible.
I'm not gonna fight that hard.
I think he actually agree with you based on conversations I've had with him.
I'm sure he would.
And I think the Rams moved down one.
Yeah, I think so too.
That's a good call. What about the Seahawks moving up to Jeff
I'd move
Fisher?
them up to
Seahawks
Jeff
probably
Fisher.
move up one.
Yeah. I think Jeff Fisher is perfect for them.
And now I think we're pretty close.
Yeah.
Bears are sad boys still.
Yeah.
Until we do it more than once. Unfortunately, the burgeoning question is, what do we do with the Niners?
Niners. I still need like 2 more weeks to decide, I think.
Yeah, I'm undecided.
But we're deciding now.
I'm keeping
Well,
it
let me see if they
I
got
mean, at the lowest, they're playoffs. At the lowest.
I
Right.
wouldn't move them below playoffs either.
Yeah.
If
But
we
I
move
don't
them,
feel-
if we move them down, that means the only NFC team is
Would
the
be the
Vikings,
which feels
which is insane.
counterintuitive.
Yeah.
Does that mean Mark's Commanders move to Super Bowl contender?
Listen, I said playoffs. In my heart says Super Bowl, but
All right,
you know,
hold
you
on,
I
can
have
go
a,
there.
I have a, I have a
I mean,
suggestion.
look, this is not for nothing. The Niners' schedule is Seahawks, Chiefs, Cowboys, Bucks, Seahawks, Packers, Bills, Bears, Rams, Dolphins, Lions. They got a brutal schedule this year.
I have a suggestion. I think Lions move up to Super Bowl and the Niners move down 1.
I agree that the Niners moved down 1.
You are so anti-Lions.
I'm agreeing with Drew on this one.
It's
All right.
because I keep track of this kind of crap. We have one too many NFC teams in the playoffs. Somebody's got to move down 1. I think it's the Falcons.
Yeah.
Falcons or Bucks? It's one of them.
I think it's the Falcons. And I
Also,
like the Falcons still, but I think it's the Falcons.
Why
Are we
not
sticking
the Cowboys?
are we sticking with Steelers, by the way, at playoffs?
Somebody has to win that division.
I am
It's
until
the
they
Ravens.
give me a
Yeah.
reason not to.
All right. That's
It's
fine.
starting to
Whatever.
crack. It's starting to crack.
Yeah.
Maybe Chargers would move up.
Ugh. I don't feel great about that. I mean, honestly,
it as
until
is.
all the injuries, the Bills would have moved up, but now half their team is
Yeah, they're down with
invalid.
Jeff Fisher now after that game.
No, I'm fine with it. They were starting at Jeff Fisher, and I feel like they still belong there at this time. So
All right.
All
right.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
We got
6.
enough?
All right. Yep. Yes, we have an accurate number of teams represented.
okay.
And let me hold on. Go back to that for a second. I didn't check the AFC.
I thought we were good.
No, I was just doing the NFC.
Sorry.
I know. I'm holding up production.
It's
There you
lost forever. You get nothing.
Land deeds have been destroyed.
We need
1,
AFC,
2,
don't we?
3, 4. We need several AFC teams.
Honestly, out of
We
Jeff
need-
Fisher,
we
the
need-
Bills and
we need
Chargers could both
3
make
more
it.
AFC teams. Now, if you wanted to say let's not reward bad behavior and just walk away, I'm okay with that.
Yeah, no. Put him back down. Like we don't
'Cause
have
I don't
to have.
feel
Yeah, we don't-
strongly
but here's the
about any
thing.
of those
We
teams.
don't have an AFC East team in the playoffs.
And one of
Somebody
those
has
shits is
to
going to
win.
make it in there.
Yeah.
And I would say Buffalo until further
Probably,
notice.
it probably is Buffalo. I like Buffalo for a playoff
It
team.
ain't
still.
it ain't New England and it ain't Miami and it ain't
Yeah.
going to be the Jets.
Unless
So,
Tua comes back and lights the world on fire and doesn't
I don't
have
think
a
that's happening,
competitor.
guys. I
Well-
think that is a false hope.
I say this to Mark's point: the Bills could go 9-8 and win that division.
Yeah, I think it's the
And that
Bills.
technically qualifies for playoffs.
And I don't see who else is gonna move up
I-
unless Joe
I would move
Flacco plays for the Colts.
I would
Oh,
move
no.
the Chargers back down 1. I don't have that much faith in them.
Okay, all right. So who's gonna take that
And a
spot?
bye week.
I don't reward bad behavior. I don't think
All right,
there's
so we're
anybody
keeping one
who-
down. We're gonna be one man down.
I
We're
want to
two-
stop,
we're
but don't
2 down,
close it yet.
actually.
I am really happy with our diddly poo right now. By the way, I think
Yes,
that's
100%.
very
solid
confident.
poo
We're
right
looking
That's a
at
lot
the
of
top-
diddly poo.
That is
Do
some
we need
solid poo.
Yeah, right.
Do we need a
I
lower
can-
level? Like
Look,
another
I would
level?
argue. I'd argue
No.
that the Colts maybe belong at that poo level as well.
Not so long as Joe
Depends
Flacco's
on who
playing.
the quarterback is.
If it's Anthony Richardson, it is poo.
It may well be, but he's so entertaining.
He is.
He is entertaining. All right,
Literally
we
anything
can
could happen.
we can go over the rest of the categories and revisit this if we want to make a change or two.
Sure.
We can certainly do that. Okay, all
We
right.
have that power.
We have the power.
I have
We didn't
the
do one
power.
exciting game, which was Jags won a game. The Jags beat the Colts in a
Right.
shootout.
I know it was a weird one.
Listen
The
to what
Colts-
you just said.
Yeah, I know. Flacco started. Here's a fantasy thing for you. I lost Tua, so my whole season's kind of been a little shaky. So I picked up Huntley, because it's a weird
This is your
quarterback.
2-quarterback league.
It's a
yeah.
weird ass 2-quarterback league, and
Oh,
there's
right,
nobody
right.
available. So I pick up Huntley, and I'm like, before the game, I'm like, let me just see if Flacco's out there. Like, pick up Flacco, put him in. He had a great game, way better than Huntley.
right.
So I'm hoping for Flacco the rest of the season. But anyway, Trevor Lawrence did stuff. The Jags actually looked on offense. Somewhat competent. Colts defense is really bad. Jags defense is really bad.
Oh,
Also
God.
true.
So it was a fun matchup because of all the craziness. But Jags finally get a win. Is this a trend, or we're just gonna still suck? We're still
They beat
diddly
the
poo.
Colts.
Yeah, right.
God, the Colts might be diddly poo on defense. They might be, especially on defense. Wow.
Can I ask a question?
Okay.
Who is their coach? The Colts.
Oh, the guy from
Dungy?
the guy from the Eagles, right? The
Maybe.
OC from the Eagles from
Okay.
2 years
Dane?
ago.
Deacon.
Steichen.
Ted
Steichen.
Ted
Marchabrota?
Marchabrota.
Yeah, right. Aw, Ted.
No, this man is not an NFL coach. This man is an insurance salesman.
mm.
He sells nationwide insurance and wears pleated khakis.
He's a youth pastor.
Does he have a sex book?
No, but Dave Canales does.
I'm aware.
How not to cheat on your wife. Here's what you don't do.
Again, it seems like one page. How not to cheat on your wife.
Yeah.
Step 1, don't cheat on your
Yeah,
wife.
just don't.
Stop.
Keep it
Just
in your
don't do
pants.
it. Just stop, Dave.
Mark will know what I'm talking about. It. Put it down. Get a job. Yes, you can get a job.
Good job.
All
Can't
right.
talk about the rest of that skit.
Nope. Category is Mark's Commanders in the battle of good versus evil in Mark's
Yes.
world. The Commanders destroy the Browns.
Oh, so good.
They destroy the Browns. The shocking part of this for me is not that the Commanders won or that their offense looked good. It was that their defense annihilated Watson and the Browns offense.
I mean, that's a low bar, but you're right. They did,
But
look
they
really good.
looked elite against them.
What about too? With I think we should talk about Deshaun Watson refusing to go in at the end of the game. That was really funny.
No, was that there was a false narrative about the 12 men on the field? Is that what you're talking about?
No, it was maybe the 4th down one.
Yes.
Being a whiny
Okay.
little bitch.
There was 12 men on the field. He didn't refuse to go back in the game.
No, he's a bitch.
They blew it and they had to call timeout.
He Scotty Pippened his way out of the game.
He's Scotty.
That wasn't his fault,
No,
but
yeah, it
everything else is his fault.
Yeah.
I listen, I don't
Ugh.
this is not why we're here. I don't want to rehash all the old disgusting stuff, but so I read that one of his cases is now settled. Where is the league here? Are they still investigating? Are they
No, they
are
already
they gonna-
investigated and suspended him for it. So they're
But,
not going to do it again.
This is new
But
though.
this is
a
new stuff.
Right.
where is the league here? Do we have any concept of that? I don't even say that as an indictment. I say that as has anybody heard anything?
They're not going to do anything. They consider the matter closed, my guess.
I mean, Rice is
That's-
basically whatever.
that's
They've totally
fucking
passed
weird.
him.
yeah.
Weird.
I mean,
But he's a Chief, so that makes sense. We can't hurt them.
Well, hey, what's more important is that Josh Gordon smoked some weed once, and we banished him from the league almost forever.
right. That guy got banished forever, and he did
I think he
nothing
just
but
got let
smoke
back
weed.
in. But
Just now.
it's okay. Ray Rice punched a woman in the head, and
Was
Deshaun
one
Watson
game or
is-
something? He knocked a
Deshaun Watson may
wife
have
out.
sexually assaulted half the city of Houston. But
Mhm.
hey, whatever.
Good grief. Well, the Commanders, happy news. Jaden Daniels is good. They had to punt a couple
He's good
times.
at
That was
football.
weird.
Yep.
They had to punt. He had some incompletions. That was a little
I know.
weird.
Weird. He wanted to make it competitive. That's all.
Yeah. Man, is he good.
He's really good.
He's good. And I like kind of his this was probably the most I've seen of him in the NFL. They showed a lot of him in Red Zone this week. And I like how he was just kind of smiling and laughing the whole time. He's just missed that one.
Yep.
That's all right. I'll get him next time. I'm good. I'm playing the Browns. I'm not really that worried. about
Their run game looks great.
Yeah.
Once Eckler and Robinson, really good.
it. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like you either have to be a calculating genius who can do all the odds like Manning or Brady, or you have to be this aloof, surfer idiot guy.
Yeah.
And that those are the two extremes of NFL
Extremes,
quarterbacks who are successful.
I remember. I won't go into detail, but since you brought it up, I'll make a very long story very short. I was once in a room with two formerly prominent college football head coaches, and the Broncos game was on when Peyton Manning was with the Broncos, and he threw some ball into the corner of the end zone, perfectly laid in where only his guy could get it. And the two coaches, they weren't paying attention to me. We just all happened to be watching the same TV. They were talking to each other. And the two guys were saying, like, what makes Manning great, what Mike's talking about, what makes him so great is not his ability to throw that pass. It's his ability to see that window and have the balls to throw that pass.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And to know when to throw it.
Yes. Yeah. The
Yeah.
timing, just to see a window that nobody else sees and instantly decide I can fit that in there and then do it.
I feel like we're spoiled though. Like we're at this point now where we've talked about it a lot. NFL quarterback play is at its worst it's ever been. And we're so spoiled because we've seen that for years in versions of that.
Our childhood was, and sort of early adulthood, was arguably peak NFL quarterback.
Yeah.
You had both Manning brothers, Tom Brady, Drew Brees.
Listen, throw
Ed
Poochie in there.
Roethlisberger,
Like,
Poochie?
as much as we make fun of Poochie,
Rivers.
throw Poochie in there.
vintage Poochie,
Rivers.
Yeah, Philip
Phil
Rivers.
Rivers. And there's more. That's just 7 off the top of my head.
Yeah, there was more. And even back to when we were kids, we had some of the best. We had Marino, Elway, Montana, all
Aikman.
of them,
Even
Kelly, Aikman, all playing at the same time.
And even
Mark
to Mike's
Griffin.
point, even
1 year.
even
That guy.
even to Mike's point, take a guy like Matt Ryan. Matt Ryan was a second-tier quarterback when he played in the league, except for that 1 year where he was transcendent.
Right.
But like, where would Matt Ryan rank now among quarterbacks?
He'd be elite.
Like prime Matt
He'd be
Ryan.
elite.
He'd be
I
one
mean,
of the
look at
top 5
Flacco.
quarterbacks in the league.
Look at
Yeah.
Flacco looking elite, even at almost 40. I mean,
And I think I said this a week or two ago. Is it something where, like, the NFL gets very trendy? A new idea comes in, like, hell, we used to run the Wildcat.
Yep.
Is it something where the league's defenses have caught up to what offenses have been doing, and the offense has not made the next leap into whatever's coming next?
I think some of that, yeah. Like, I think some of that, yes. I think
heavily favors offense with the rules.
But I think what you're starting to see is between a lot of, let's not call them bad quarterbacks, there's a preponderance of young quarterbacks in the league. And young quarterbacks are assisted by good running games. And right now, everybody's defensive ends are 230 pounds.
Yeah.
And your offensive tackle is 315 pounds, and he loves to run downhill and knock that guy's ass over.
Yeah.
So, you're seeing this move back toward a running game, which I like, but
it's smart. All right, moving on. Lay Bar also. What? The Giants beat the Seahawks on the road.
Yeah.
What the hell?
Thank you, Giants.
It's not that they beat the Seahawks. I feel like the Seahawks are a little over. We talked about like their first games were against like garbage teams.
Yeah.
It's that they beat them at home. That's impressive. That's tough to do.
This
That's
game
bad.
was also against a garbage team.
Seahawks didn't lose in Seattle for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
For a stretch there. Lay Bar was bumping though, because Dayball and his guys get a ridiculous win. Daniel Jones actually played sort of well in this one.
We talked about it. The Seahawks defense is shit. Like it's
bad.
real bad. They let the Patriots move up and down on that defense, and that is probably the worst offense in the league.
They got absolutely embarrassed by the Lions too.
Yeah. So
it's funny because I don't think even Giants fans are talking themselves into, hey, this is a turnaround match and maybe Daniel Jones can do it. Even Giants fans are like, no, this is just delaying the inevitable and screwing up our draft picks.
I was about to say, Mike, this feels very fluky. This
I have one of my coworkers is a big Giants fan, and he is openly advocating for the return of Tommy Cutlets, who he thinks sucks, so that the team can bottom out and end up with either Ewers or Cam Ward.
It's just not the year to do it, though. You got to wait till next year.
I asked him, I said, do you want to wait for the March for Arch and try to reunite the Mannings with New York? And he's like, no, I don't want to wait that long. He's like, I can't go. He's like, I'm not a young man. I can't go through this twice.
Okay. Well, Lay Bar was open. It was packed. Next category. I somehow, I don't know why this happened, but when I was rewriting the doc, there was a category last week. It was like boring games. Mm-hmm. And then a few weeks ago, we had a category that was like drizzling shits.
Mm-hmm.
And this category, somehow I merged those two into bore shits. It's
I
the
like it.
Dolphins and the Patriots.
Oh my god,
Gag
that
me.
game!
It was a
That
horrible
football
game.
back 50 years. That game.
Ugh, it wasn't as bad as like New England last year, where several times we put worst game ever,
Oh yeah.
Yes.
and then it was topped worst
There's
game
that one-
ever.
What was it that one Jets Patriots game
Yes.
that was like 9-6?
Yeah,
That was-
we're like
Yep.
we're
Atrocious.
setting football back to the
yeah.
40s.
was
This was
pretty bad,
really
though.
bad.
Holy
The
shit.
Dolphins couldn't throw, they
No.
couldn't kick, and they couldn't punt, but somehow they won.
But luckily they played the Patriots. So,
Oh,
Other than that, Mrs. Lincoln, how was the
Oh,
football
supply.
game?
yeah, right.
oh my god, both teams look horrible. Like there's nothing to say here.
There's not. There was a shot of Gerard Mayo at one point where he had no headset on, which made me laugh because anytime a coach has no headset on, it makes me laugh. Like, you really don't need to communicate right now. He just had no headset on. It was in his hand. He was
I
just
need a
like,
minute. I need 20 minutes.
Yeah, I mean it was so
Jesus
bad.
fuck.
It ended Jacoby Brissett.
yeah,
So-
he's done. Drake
Yeah,
May is
right.
in.
Drake
That
May
is
experiment.
such a mistake.
What are they doing?
Some of us here are parents. We'll understand this idea. I need 20 minutes.
Yeah.
Red Mayor had that. I need 20 minutes.
Yeah, he had that look like, please stop.
It's like Mike sent a text out, and somebody in the text, the screen cap is like, behind what O line is Drake May starting here?
I think we wrote he gonna die.
Yeah, might.
Yeah.
Orlovsky saying, I hope they got a new O-line too.
Yeah, it's
He
yeah.
gonna die.
Listen, like Jacoby Brissett at least is athletic enough to evade some of that. Drake,
Kind of, not really.
Yeah.
but-
Mm.
Not really. But you don't care if he gets annihilated. Who cares? Boy, the Dolphins. I mean, I feel bad for them. They've just been wrecked. And they lost multiple dudes for the year now.
Yep.
Yep.
Some of their best defenders are out for the year now.
But here's what's embarrassing though is like when we did the offseason thing, we talked about why are they letting all these good young. I mean, we found out because they wanted to pay Tyreek and they wanted to pay Jalen Waddle, who deserved it. Tyreek didn't deserve another raise, but they went in through all this time and spent all their money on the offense and let like Van Winkle go, who's
And
like
he
fucking lighting
he had
it
a
up.
pick six.
Right.
Yeah.
Christian Wilkins, I know, got hurt, but before that, he was had an excellent start. His like PFF had him as the best interior run defender in the league.
Yeah.
All these guys,
Well for the Raiders.
yeah, all these guys who were under like 27 years old, and they're just like, whatever, we have to give Tyreek more money, and it's hurting them. And then they replaced him with Calais Campbell, who's older than shit, and Jordan Poyer, who can't run, and all these guys who are just so old. It's bad planning.
Like I don't get the idea of like, okay, let's make him start. They're playing the freaking Texans next week. Like that's not going to be an easy game. Like wait,
Yeah.
they got the Texans, the Jets, Jags. I'm sorry, Texans, Jags, Jets. Wait the next week. Let them play the
Start him on the
Jaguars.
Jags. Start him against the Jags. Yeah.
Start them against the
Yeah,
Give him a chance. Fuck.
asinine. Again, I said this the other night, and I thought New England was smarter than this, but once again, Robert Kraft is proving to be, an idiot. There is zero reason to start Drake May
yep.
this year at all.
Yeah, start him at the end of the
Well,
year. It's fine.
There's one
Maybe?
reason to do it
What's the one
Jersey
reason?
sale?
is keep people buying tickets because now they have something to watch.
Yeah, give him some hope at the end of the year.
Here's the thing.
Sell some jerseys.
But again, it's such fucking short term thinking. Robert Kraft is not short on money. He is not going to go bankrupt or have an issue if the Pats sell a few less tickets and jerseys this year.
But here's what happened. The Patriots were booed at home at one point
That's
during this
true.
game. They
That's
were booed
true,
at
too.
home, which hasn't
That
happened in
hasn't
20
happened in a
years.
long time.
And I guarantee he saw that and was like,
Well,
no, this
to
can't happen
paraphrase,
anymore. We can't have
Rick,
this.
to paraphrase Rick Pitino, Tom Brady ain't walking through that door.
Yeah.
We know.
Bill
But
Belichick ain't walking through that door. It's not
I-
happening.
I
he's
have
going to
this-
get made fun of at the massage parlors. That's the problem.
Drake May is going to start a handful of games, but this is not the last time we see Jacoby Brissett. He's coming back either because
yes,
May
yes.
is hurt or because it's not going to. He's ineffective. Like
Yeah, I think
this
you're
is
right about
definitely
that.
we're seeing Jacoby Brissett end the season. So
Well, but again, here's circling back to what I was saying for a second. What's the point of having this kind of money if you can't be like, I don't give a shit what people think because I'm rich? Like, that's the whole joy of having FU money.
That
Is
clearly
people
doesn't exist.
fuck
That
off.
doesn't exist. I mean, look at fucking Elon Musk. That guy has the most FU money of all time, and he really cares what everyone
he,
says.
He gets in more Twitter beefs than Kevin
Yeah,
Durant.
right. He really, really cares, and he has more money than anyone else. All right. This category.
Give me $5 million, and I won't care about anything.
I wish. I know. Maybe that's the problem. We just need a little bit of millions. Just a little bit. All right. Oh boy, this category is.
Are
This
we
is
in the
rough.
B block or the C block?
No, we're
No,
still
we're
in the A
still
block.
in the
We
A
haven't
block.
gotten through the games.
Still in the A block. I'm not going to say what it is yet, but here's the first game.
Team's a dumpster fire, but at least that hot mess can keep you warm. Those lucky devils and comas don't have to watch this shit show anymore. We fired the corpse of Frank Reich so he can be in bed by 8. We proved the opposite of love is apathy, it's not hate. Carolina, oh Carolina, our quarterback still can't reach the cookie jar.
Get blown out by the Bears. Oh boy. Probably the worst team to lose to is the fucking Bears, and DJ Moore absolutely kills us.
Yep.
He has over 100 yards and 2 touchdowns. Caleb Williams looked good for the first time. Could have been on our team if we had
Hard not
kept the
to.
pick. Yeah, it's bad. It's bad. I hate losing to the Bears, especially because they literally they pillaged us. We gave away the farm, and then they just beat us with all their guys. Not fun. Not fun at all. Dalton didn't look great in this one. The defense is a mess.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Everyone's hurt. Their center's out for the year. Clowney was hurt. The middle linebacker, Shaq Thompson, is gone. There's just nobody.
Jadeveon Clowney is still in the league?
He is, and he's a
On
Panther.
a
Now he's
two-year
hurt.
deal.
Nah, that makes sense.
He went home.
Somehow he got a 2-year deal there. Yeah, it was ugly. It was bad. I hate losing to the Bears. Hate losing to the Bears. Even though I would have been fine if it was like 30-25 or something, like 24 or whatever. I would have been cool with that. But an absolute blowout, and of course DJ Moore went nuts. Next game in this category, I have yet to say.
We moved on to
As a
60.
child, I grew up watching Buffalo. I learned to spell bills. Boy, I love losing Super Bowls. Here we go, Buffalo, playing on the field of broken dreams.
Yes.
A minute 42 to go. FAU just tied Liberty at
No,
24.
God, why are you doing that to Mark?
Liberty's getting the ball. They're going to get the ball. They got a minute
Why?
42, but they are
Oh,
tied
why are
with
you doing
FIU
that to him?
right now.
We're in the Bills
Anyway,
ballad.
They got this. I'm not even sweating. They
I
got this.
wouldn't be that sweaty yet, but it is a 10. They're certainly tied is better than losing.
Mark
Anyway,
is not any
continue.
sweater than he normally is.
Yes, right, exactly.
All right.
Normal levels of Mark sweat.
The second game in this category is the Texans beat the Bills on some questionable decision making.
Oh,
I disagree.
All right, Mark, go ahead. We give you the floor.
agreed.
I disagree. So the people, I know there are people slamming on the Bills should have just ran the clock out and not ran the. People forget
Played
the
for
Texans still had
overtime.
three-
Played for
they had
overtime.
They had 3 timeouts though. They were going to call those timeouts one way or the other, right? And they still would have gotten the ball back. You put the ball in your best player's hand, which is Josh Allen, and
True.
I've seen him on 3 and outs before throw incompletion, 80-yard touchdown. So like you put it in his hand to see what he can do. It's the defense's fault for even allowing a lot of that to happen. So that's where the blame goes. I have no problem with trying to win a game ever. Put it in your best player's hand. I think that's ridiculous commentary. I think some of the play calling on defense was a problem. But
Yeah, this
Interesting.
We've talked about this before. It's like the Steelers with Ben Roethlisberger. Like you put it in his hands and you accept that there's a percentage of the time where it's not going to work.
right,
It's
just
going to
not
do
gonna
something
work.
bonkers.
Right.
And in this case, it didn't work out. But I was watching this game and then it was tied and I was like, cool, this is going to go to overtime. I'm going to go make myself a sandwich. And I sat back down and it was over.
Yeah.
And the Ravens game was on.
I want to point out, I don't think, just as a Bills fan, if the Bills are going against a team and the team has to make any field goal to win that game, that other team is making that fucking field goal. It could be 68 yards in a fucking snowstorm, and that other team from Miami, and Miami's going to nail that 68-yarder against the Bills. Always happens. Always happens.
Here comes Cyborg Janikowski to get from 75.
Always gonna the Eagles won last year where it was in a monsoon and he nailed it dead center at like 65 yards. I was like, fucking course he did. So Bills are hurt. Bills aren't playing great right now. This is the hardest part of their schedule. I was hoping they'd sneak 2 wins out of these 3 games. That ain't gonna happen. So we'll see how they do next week, but they don't look good right now.
Okay. All right. So you weren't upset by the play calling?
I wasn't, because like you said, you got to put it in Josh Allen's hand. You run the ball. Like James Cook is okay, but he's not going to like bust out an 80-yard run.
It would be playing for overtime at that
right,
point.
And the Bills are owing $1 billion in overtime. So like you might as well try to let Josh win the damn thing.
In fairness, they're owing $1 billion because they've played the Chiefs in overtime $1 billion times.
They do see them a lot.
Yes.
I don't know. It just they also. I mean, they got to get healthy. That's not an excuse, but like they got to get some of these guys back because it's what it is, man. Like, what's his name? One of them came back because he's the one playing for a contract, so he showed up. But the other guys who already got paid, they're like, shit. Maybe wait it out a couple more weeks. So.
I'm really hurt. Yeah. I don't know if they would have won in overtime, but yeah, I don't know. I don't know about that. I don't know if I agree. I think they may on the 1 yard line, maybe just also Josh Allen was concussed, right? Are we going to talk about that? He got smelling salted back into the game there. Like he was definitely concussed, right?
But he's not in the protocol. I mean, at least actually
still not in the protocol. Right?
Yeah, like Tua, I guess, never was in that protocol when his back hurt. So. Yeah,
right. I don't know. He looked a little off there.
Oh, he was a horrible game. Texans knew exactly how to play him. So
yeah.
Also, Khalil Shakir is apparently the cog that makes the offense work.
Yeah, really.
He's a good player.
That part.
Yeah.
All right, next one.
I think I know what the theme of this segment is now.
You got it?
I don't know if it's ever happened on the show before. I was thinking
about
this on Sunday night.
Tears came running dry desert air. Mark Davis thinks the Super Bowl is what he uses to cut his hair. Silver and black, John Gruden came back. We'll be paying him until he dies.
Okay, the Broncos beat the Raiders. The hat is backwards.
The Broncos might be a little better than we thought, given the 3 straight wins, but also the Raiders suck. Brock Bowers is good. I yield the rest of my time. With one addendum, Max Crosby's still really effing good. By the way, he had like 2 sacks in that game. Anyway,
and
he came out and he's like, I literally tattooed it on my body. There's no other place I want to be. Like I want to be here because there's like he's a package deal with Devontae Adams.
There's nothing else to say about the Raiders. They put both quarterbacks in this game and they both sucked.
Do we want to talk about how Devontae Adams will soon be a Jet? Can we talk about that?
Is he going to be a Jet?
Oh, he 100%. That's exactly
now that they've made the change.
Yeah,
he's not going to the Saints. He's not going to the Saints.
He would not go to the Saints. I think Derek Carr getting hurt is going to keep him from the Saints.
Yeah. And honestly, the Jets have the money. The Saints would have to maneuver. They would have to play a shell game to make the money. It's an easier deal for the Raiders to just send him to the Jets.
Absolutely, they'll give up a second rounder and they'll get Devontae Adams, and Aaron Rodgers will be happy. So
supposedly, rumor is the Chiefs have offered a second rounder, but the Raiders don't want to do it. They're like the highest pick.
Absolutely not. Are you fucking stupid? Like no,
the highest pick that they could get.
There's no way the Jets wouldn't offer a second rounder for Devontae Adams. That's like low hanging.
Especially if they know that's the going price.
Yeah, right. A second rounder's. I mean,
guys, are we really believing that the Jets can't screw this up?
They might.
That's a good point.
They might. All right. There's not a song for this yet. There's not a song for this yet, so here it is.
Xbox! You think you can tell us what to do? Yeah. You think you can tell us what to win? You think you better? Yeah. Well, you better get ready to bow to the master.
All right, the 49ers lose to the Cardinals.
Which means...
Hold on. Give him his time, Mr. Mike.
What does it mean?
Mr. Mike, go ahead.
No. You go first because what it means actually has nothing to do with the 49ers.
Oh, okay. Yeah. He somehow lost the fucking Cardinals.
How mad are you right now?
Dipshitted way humanly possible. Again, this is one of those
By
dick
1
step
point.
things
By 1
that
point.
Shanahan routinely fucks up. I am so sick of him having a 10-point lead in the fourth quarter and choking it down like he's at the massage parlor with Robert Kraft. I am so tired of this.
Twice.
No, not twice, a multitude of times. This
No,
is
I
not-
mean, we made that reference twice now.
Oh, well, yeah. No, this
Come
is
home, Salah. Come home.
absolutely. Yes, he needs to come home and fix the fucking defense. It's goddamn Kyler Murray. Come on. This is just an absolute horseshit performance by Shanahan. Once again, getting too cute for his own good by half. And they're lost. Now, they're injured up to fucking wazoo. Apparently, Kittle might be out. We need a new kicker. Our first round draft pick got shot. Like
You have no
Volker
calves. Christian McCaffrey has no Achilles tendons.
Yeah, right.
Allegedly, he did some work this week and didn't experience any flare-ups. So he's not returning week 6 where he's eligible, but he's apparently not dead. So we have that going for us, which is nice. I don't know. This is just, to me, I think I said it before, and again, I can still be proven wrong because thank God the rest of the division sucks. But this has the propensity of finally being like that Bengals season, that post Super Bowl hangover where they're just snake bit the whole season. And that might just be it. Like they might just be in a year where it's like, meh, you know.
Well, just like the Bills, they might win that division by default. So
yeah, but again, like I their schedule's freaking brutal.
yeah.
Did anybody else happen to chuckle at the highlight of Kyler Murray's long run, watching him run like a toddler?
Yes,
I
exactly.
I chuckled a
Like a
little.
toddler who stole their parents' cell phone.
Yes.
That is Kyler Murray running. But again,
His
they've got.
stride is weirdly abbreviated. He has a strange way of running.
Yeah.
I mean, they've got Arizona again, who in theory, they should be able to beat. They got Miami's corpse, which they got the Bears. Tampa's kind of trick or treat this year. You know, they haven't played the Seahawks yet, and that'll be, you know, I think next, you know, it's kind of early to say it in week 6, but I think next week is a semi must win game. Like, I don't think they can lose to the Seahawks and now have had 3 division losses.
That's
Like,
pretty
that's
rough.
just, I can't remember the last time the Niners have had 3 divisional losses in a season. Like, it's been a while. Again, this is just a bullshit performance by Shanahan and the defense. The defense is not playing to the level it should. For the love of God, Salah, just come back and coach the defense. You did a great job. You need work. I swear to God, we'll fire whoever's there. I don't care. Probably if Brandon Staley can go pack groceries or something. I don't give a shit. I don't know. It's just Shanahan he's a frustrating coach because he has these flashes of fucking genius where like, holy shit, that is an amazing setup. He keeps trying to force the bullshit of Debo as a running back. Like, that gimmick is past. Everyone knows it's happening now. Yeah. It's not special. And not for nothing, Debo does not seemingly have the ability to get open in open field anymore. Like, Debo is just not a factor at all.
Would you argue that Debo got knocked the fuck out?
You know,
Wow.
How do you get fired on your day off?
It's just maddening. It's maddening, but like, again, part of me wishes they were shittier so I could just write the whole season off. They're going to drag me through this season, kicking and screaming and gnashing of teeth, with the idea that they're not. It's frustrating at all.
By the way, I just had a thought. Do you think Robert Saleh has now looked at the Jets schedule and just calls the next team and be like, "Ahem, our game plan on 1st and 10 is thus," and just goes through the plays?
It would work. It would make sense if it wasn't Hackett who was running the fucking offense.
Seriously, How the hell did Hackett keep his job and Sal get fired? It is the most. God, it's the most Jets thing ever.
Let me tell you about what we're gonna do. We're good. We don't need it. We're fine, Robert. Just enjoy your time off. It's fine.
Liberty, you're cowards. How dare you punt with 29 seconds left at midfield?
I just saw it 4th and 1. You come on. That's all
They
right.
punted. They're playing for overtime.
That's all right. Cowards.
So on this show, we do a thing called the Sad Boy Boat, usually, where we make fun of other people.
Yeah.
However, this has never
All
happened.
4 of us are on the Sad Boy.
Oh, for four. Here's your Sad Boy Boat right here, baby. All
Look
4 of
at
us.
it.
You're looking at the Sad Boy Boat on the USS Norvell.
Although up until tonight or today, I would say all 4 of us should be on there. We got to make room for Robert Sala.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
give him money. Put him on there. Come on board, Robert. We talked about this very thing last night with our good friend Greg, who does not have a bet today
on the feed
Spoilers.
cast, right?
The feed cast. Look for that in plugs. But Greg made fun of us, and he's like, "Oh, all 4 of you lost." I'm like, "Wait a minute, your team didn't even play, Greg. That doesn't count as a win."
Yep.
It counted as a win to Greg.
Down 3.5 points to the bye.
Yeah.
All right. Liberty's in overtime, so I think that means they
They
get
are.
a point in the standings. Not sure how that works.
All right, we have a couple more categories before we get to the B block here. I called this one Never Ending Story. The Cowboys beat the Steelers in the weirdest game. Lightning pushed the game back till 10 o'clock at night. Dak Prescott threw an interception in the same game in 2 different days. He threw an interception on Sunday and on Monday in the same game. Only Dak would have this kind of stat.
I know, right?
And still win, by the way.
And then he still wins.
$238 million for that man.
My God. No one will ever eclipse that. 2 picks on 2
Oh, yeah.
different days in the same game. I'm not really sure what else there is to say about this other than it was ugly and the Cowboys got it.
Yep.
Steelers aren't very good on offense. Still.
They were, once again, lucky they played the teams they played in the first couple of weeks.
This category is okay, sure. The Packers beat the Rams. I missed this entirely. I was working, missed it.
You didn't miss
Okay,
much.
sure.
Yeah,
The,
right.
the Rams suck. The Packers are a little bit shaky given their injuries, but they're still better than the Rams.
There you go.
They are, and they are a mentally disciplined team.
There you go. And the other one was
What?
Chiefs over Saints.
Wait, hold on. Can we talk about Romeo Dobbs for a second? Who
Yes,
went
please, please,
AWOL from the Packers despite being the team's leading receiver.
please.
What
He
else
needs
can
more
we do for
touches.
you, Romeo? Like,
He needs more targets.
yeah. But he leads the team in
Yeah,
targets.
he needs more targets.
What else can we do?
Oh my
I don't
God.
see no fruit
Is he
basket.
back
I
or
don't
is he
see
still
no
missing in
fruit
action?
basket. As far as the last report I read was that he responded to what the team said and then vanished again.
Right. Yeah.
They don't know his current whereabouts.
Right. That's what I heard too. Is like he whatever
One-way
he
trip
did,
to Thailand.
he made it aware that he wasn't like he didn't need like a wellness check, like that he was
Right,
still
yeah,
alive.
like police
Yeah.
found him.
Right. Right.
And he was fine. And then he was like, F you, and drove away like Marty Morenweg on a motorcycle.
No.
And
Weird. So weird. Because also, like, okay, say you're forcing a trade. Who would want to trade for you at this point?
I know.
I mean-
I know. What's going to make the guy happy?
Right. Right.
Wow. Yeah, he needs more. Wait, he's first in every category. That was
Yeah. There's nothing. I don't get it.
Chiefs over Saints. I don't know. That big fat guy had an interception. That was fun.
That was
Yeah.
cool.
Mhm.
I don't know what else to say. Rashee Rice is probably out for the year, though. So they have to do
I mean, they look a little
exploratory
bit-
surgery to look inside his knee to see what's wrong. That's
Yeah, I
never
guess
good
it
sign.
wasn't as bad. They didn't say it was like an LCL or something like that.
But then they
it's still-
said he's probably done for the year anyway.
yeah, it's still done for
Yeah,
the year.
that's-
Yeah.
yeah.
But-
It's not career ending.
yeah, right.
Did you hear this? It's like a rumor going. I don't even know if this is possible. There's a rumor going around that they are trying to get him suspended now.
It's possible.
They're trying to get him
Yeah.
suspended while he's
Yeah.
hurt.
and it's
Yeah.
going to count, because that makes sense. That's fine.
I don't understand how that even works, but they're angling to try to make that happen.
Right. Which is, I think, why they're saying he's going to be out for the year. As in, they're like, oh, just we'll take our lumps now, and then hey, look, it was a year, so it's like we're
Yeah.
punishing him too.
He was suspended. He couldn't even play if he wanted to. But
Yeah, whatever.
Oh my gosh. What a week. We had bye weeks.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of teams out. Or do we want to look at the list one more time to make sure we're good?
You know what's funny though is the one story I thought we were going to talk about tonight is Devontae Adams getting traded, and it didn't happen, and we
Yeah,
had all the
that's-
other shit
happened.
happen. So
Yeah, right.
I thought
All
that
right.
was
Require
going to
the-
be like for sure this week.
It would require the Raiders doing something smart and proactive, though.
Yeah, they got to move on. They got to get rid of him. All right. Anything? What are we thinking here? Anybody move?
I feel okay with this.
Yeah, I'm good.
All right. We're good with this final list here.
Yeah.
We'll
think
check
so.
back another 5 or 6 weeks. We'll check back on this. We're getting close to the Orton line, right?
Week 8.
We're getting close. Week 8. We're getting very close. I'm excited for that.
I've got a McConkey update.
McConkey.
He
Liberty
didn't play
touchdown
this.
in overtime.
Yeah, he didn't play this week. What happened?
That's because he's currently undercover. Yes, he's currently undercover to investigate a theft ring that specializes in department stores and may or may not have been involved in at least 2 murders.
Oh shit!
Mm.
This feels like a two-parter.
This
Well,
is going to
yeah.
end during. This is going to end during November sweeps.
Yeah, right. What's the Liberty update? We missed it.
Liberty touchdown in overtime, currently up 6 pending the extra point, and then FIU will get the ball, and we'll see what happens.
Oh, baby. Oh, boy. All right. We have no Greg's bets, of course. He can't do them. So let's do a quick broadcasting moments of the week. Let's head to our Twitter at Pod and Long and see what we got. Here they are. Let's start with this. These signs from Cal. Too busy with midterms, no poster time.
What was the one? Yeah, okay, yeah.
I only do lines of code.
Also good.
You people are blocking the
That's what I
library.
thought.
That's the most Al sign ever.
That's a great one.
Great one.
Oh, that was great. Some good ones there.
Very clever.
Oh, I thought this was a protest.
I love that.
Oh.
God,
All right.
good stuff.
Bo Nix fighting with Sean Payton. Let's take a look at this. He's yelling at Sean Payton. Look at this. He's really mad.
Those
You know what?
uniforms are awesome,
Nice
by
to
the
see some spirit out of Bo Nix, though.
Yeah, right. He's usually too quiet.
I kind of want him to be successful. Like he seems like kind of I don't know
You like
why.
him?
I don't hate him. Like Bo Nix hasn't done anything to make me upset at him, and like everyone kind of craps on him. Like I kind of want
Yeah.
to see him.
All right. The Giants won. If you missed that, and Wandale Robinson decided to go on IG Live and do a little dance thing, as you would see. If you can see this,
Click to exit full.
but if you
screen.
can,
There you go.
if you can hear, if you can't hear in the background, you hear Brian Daboll yell, "Stop posting that shit." He yells at his players after a win.
He yells it from the third stool at Le Bar.
Yeah,
It's
right.
such a-
Just
in
put
a weird-
Laybar under
in
that.
a weird way, though, that whole interaction is sort of heartwarming. Like that's kind of what you expect.
You can see his big dumb head right here if you're
Yeah.
watching. It's stuck behind Wandale
Could you
Robinson.
imagine, like Snapchat and Instagram existed when Coughlin coached the Giants?
Oh,
my god. Yeah, okay. So the longest day of football ever. London game at 9:32 a.m. It didn't end till 1 a.m. on Monday for Sunday football. And this picture is going to come back up because bro's dead. No Will Levis. No problem. We got Poochie getting killed here.
Oh my god.
Will
they
Levis
teed off on us.
photos not needed. Look at this guy. Oh my god. Also Will Levis isn't playing, so you can get this Colts defender just diving for his life, trying to catch Brian Thomas Jr. Can't catch him.
Hey, appreciate the effort.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Liberty strip sack ball game.
Oh,
It's been so long since we lost. Like we don't even remember. So
Thank you. Praise Jesus.
this is Lamar Jackson fumbling going back, stiff arming a guy, fadeaway jumper, touchdown.
Amazing.
That's
Lamar
such a
Jackson
ridiculous
is
play.
good at football.
Yeah.
Unbelievable. Kevin Harlan on the call, who's maybe one of the best play-by-play guys. Here you go.
There he is running. I got it.
Here you go. Let's look at this guy. Now, I don't think you can hear this, but this is a clip of Tom Brady's commentary from this week, and he just yells out a lot. Oh! It's a set of clips of him just yelling, "Oh!" during this 49ers Cardinals game.
How angry is Greg Olsen right now?
So mad.
I know.
He's just
There
yelling,
was-
"Oh!" over and over and over
There
again.
was at some point in my media career,
Mm.
I worked on a show unit that had that guy in the room who every big play would just start yelling, "Oh my God!" And at one point, 6 or 7 weeks into whatever we were doing, the producer turned around and was like, "Hey, not helpful."
Stop yelling, "Oh!"
Ow!
Oh boy. All right, this is fun. It is Vandy. Vandy
Oh,
beat
Oh,
Anchor
Vandy.
down, baby.
Yeah.
Vandy beat
Don't bury the
Alabama.
lead. I'm sure that's going to be in segment B.
Vandy beat Alabama, and then they took the goalposts all over the fucking place.
Which is also that's kind of a Tennessee tradition.
Oh.
Because the Vols did that when they beat Alabama at Volunteer Stadium a couple of years back. They stormed the field, uprooted the goalpost, and then threw it in the river. So it's a whole Tennessee thing.
This is them carrying the goalpost down a police
Oh my
blockade and breaking through with the goalposts.
Imagine if you're just at like those bars or restaurants, how fucking cool that was. Just
Right?
look outside and
Gosh.
see that shit. That's so awesome.
Anchor down, motherfucker.
That's great. We talked about Dak throwing 2 interceptions. This is just bizarre. Have you seen this fucking clip of,
Yeah.
of John
Doesn't
Gruden being
Doesn't know
on
how
cocaine?
lighting works. That's one
being
thing I
on
remember.
cocaine?
Yeah, right.
It's nuts. You have to watch this.
Mm-hmm.
He just looks nuts.
Mm-hmm.
Look at his eyes.
he's always looked nuts.
That's true.
Pretty weird. Kyler Murray, congratulations to you. He now has officially a partnership with Call of Duty.
Hey,
In a
Good on him.
meme. How about a meme making fun of you, getting you money? That's pretty impressive.
it's the
That's pretty-
times
there's
in
a-
which we live.
There's a whole commercial here about him getting the bag. We talked about Salah, which made me bring back all brakes, no gas. From his Hard Knocks little slogan there that he would say, all gas, no brakes. All brakes, no gas. Bill,
Yeah, there you go.
Jets have an opportunity to do the funniest thing ever. Bill was good on Monday night. He talked about Matt Patricia and his pencil that he didn't need because they have laminated play sheets. He said, "No, we don't use pencils on laminated play sheets." Peyton Manning said, "Good." And then, of course, finally, this thing, this freaking raccoon in the middle of this game. Ah! Which reminds me of Drew's
Possum.
possum
The possum, yeah. Right.
that was making the same face, Drew.
Yep.
The possum.
I mean, when one thinks of raccoon rodeo, it's a man in a cowboy hat and a man dressed up as the orange crushed version of the Legion of Doom.
Yes. God. The guy is the Legion of Doom helping him, like trying to really help get a raccoon out of the Broncos stadium is too funny to me. All right. That's a lot of broadcasting moments. We usually don't have that many, but let's do a Stripe Spiral. There's a lot to talk about.
Boy, this is going to be. I'm going to try not to make this too chunky because there's
Okay.
a lot to get to. Around this time last year is when we started keeping track, and we're starting to keep track again. We started with 134, and then there were 12,
Wow.
especially with Liberty winning tonight.
I'm about to
There
say,
are
I
only-
know one of them who's still there.
There are
Mhm.
Blame
only
on.
there are only 12 undefeated teams left in the country, 2 of which are Navy and Army. The first time Navy and Army have been both undefeated this late in the season since like 1947. And of course, a whole bunch of upsets happened in the week nobody expected. That's always when it happens, right? You're like, there's not that many great games, this week. There's nothing really to look out for, and that's when everybody goes down. So obviously, we talked about Bama and Vandy, where Vandy comes to play, goes up 14-0 early, and then Fat Johnny Manziel takes them all the way through the end of the game for the win. This guy is a transfer from New Mexico State. They were the worst team in college football like a year and a half ago. And he idolizes Johnny Manziel, which is even funnier. He had like 70 relatives at the game, anchor down, goalposts are being taken down Broadway. Michigan very quietly lost a good game to Washington. Turns out Washington might not be functionally dead. Also, Michigan can't throw. They can't, and they choose not to. Mm-hmm. It's the same thing that they had with J.J. McCarthy. They do not trust their quarterback to actually move the ball at all. They're playing football like their Army in 1947. Tennessee absolutely spits the bit against Arkansas on a final play where their quarterback just kind of gives up and runs out of bounds.
God.
Like time was he had guys bearing down on him and time was running out, and I guess none of his dudes were open, and he just kind of meekly went out of bounds to end the ball game. It's a very strange final play if you go back and look at it. The House of Brahm loses. Florida State didn't lose because they didn't play. The week after I said Boston College might actually be good because now they get their quarterback back and they won without him, they got socked. And USC goes down to PJ Fleck's very plucky Minnesota team. So welcome to the Big Ten, USC.
Yeah.
Miami wins a second controversial game in a row at that Cal game with a targeting penalty that would have allowed Cal to keep the ball and continue driving. The other part of that game is Cam Ward once again, just turns into Cam Newton Superman and goes 4 for 4 on touchdown drives consecutively late in the game to get Miami back into it and then overcome Cal. And Cal's record isn't that great, but they're a decent team. They beat Auburn in Auburn. They've played some other teams tough. So Miami wins a second consecutive controversial game. Cue all the conspiracy theories. Cam Ward solidifying his place as probably the number 1 pick in the NFL draft and quite possibly the Heisman, pending on Quinn Ewers' comeback from injury. Quietly, the Big 12 has kind of become the most interesting conference in the country.
Yeah.
Because, first of all, let's start with Utah, where Cam Ward has become Schrodinger's cat. Nobody's really sure. He's both playing and not playing at any given time, and the university refuses to talk about what his status is. He's already kind of hinted that he would be willing to take another medical redshirt and come back for his eighth season of college football. Which is more than Frank Harris had at UTSA, who I remind you had 7 and has been the quarterback for literally half their program. But also, the teams that we thought were going to be good at the top of the Big 12, Oklahoma State, Kansas, they all look like crap. Mm-hmm. And in the meantime, the teams that were supposed to be at the bottom of the Big 12, namely Texas Tech, who is undefeated at 5-0, and a couple of other teams have kind of risen up, like Arizona State's decent, Arizona's decent, BYU looks really good. Like all of a sudden, these teams that were supposed to be at the bottom are slowly making their way to the top. And the only reason this is interesting for the Big 12 is at some point, I think there's a law that says that the law of averages would say the good teams in the Big 12 would come back around and start knocking off the bad teams in the Big 12. Like they're going to knock off Iowa State, and it's going to be a big jumble at the end. This only becomes super, super important is, let's say we have a 2-loss or even possibly 3-loss Big 12 champion at the end of the year. And while I don't think this is going to happen, let's say hypothetically that Army or Navy runs the table in the American, or Liberty runs the table in CUSA, and now would they jump a 3-loss or 2-loss Big 12 champion to become the 4th team with a bye and kick the Big 12 out of the byes for the first round of the playoff? So the Big 12 has become fascinating. And if all those other mid-majors start to drop games, like even a 1-loss Liberty or a 1-loss Navy or whatever, I don't think they would jump a 2-loss Big 12 champion for that bye. But it's not inconceivable that if they were undefeated, they would pull a Cincinnati and kick somebody out of that spot. If you're looking to watch a game this weekend, there is one absolutely riveting game to watch, which is the annual recitation of the Red River rivalry, Texas-Oklahoma.
Wow. Is Arch playing in that, or is Ewers playing in that?
The early rumor was Ewers is going to play, but I haven't looked in a couple of
We don't
days.
know.
I don't know what the latest is.
All right. Wow. A lot going on there.
A lot going on.
Time for a football foobar. Who's going in this week is in another trade.
So it's not another trade.
Yeah.
As we talked about, things didn't go well for really any of our teams this week. So I figured now is the perfect time to induct a former Buffalo Bill that I've been holding off for inducting for a while. Not because he's particularly infamous or heinous, but because he's just really, really stupid, and there's really not a lot to this. But we'll go through it anyway. So tonight, we'll be talking about the many lives and many wives of former Bills running back Travis Henry.
Tennessee zone.
Yes. Travis was drafted with the Bills' second-round draft pick in 2001 after playing his collegiate career, as you just mentioned, at the University of Tennessee. Travis Henry shared a backfield in the NFL at Tennessee with NFL legend Jamal Lewis and future Bills teammate Sean Bryson. He was on Tennessee's undefeated national championship team in 1998 with none other than Peyton Manning. No, actually, it wasn't Peyton Manning who was the quarterback of the team. It was T. Martin who led them to a national championship. So, sorry, Peyton. You won enough. Buddy. Henry was known for his short stature, but like bruising running style, and was drafted by the Bills, quickly established himself as the lead back. His best year came in 2002, where he compiled 1,700 yards from scrimmage and 14 touchdowns, en route to his only Pro Bowl season. Henry had the misfortune, though, of playing for Buffalo during the drought years. And after several years of missing the playoffs, Henry began to not so subtly complain about his status with the team, which made the Bills do what they always do, and that's trade away running backs. So he was traded to the Titans before he wrapped his career up with Denver, and then he retired in 2007. And that's where the real fun began, because shortly after retirement, Travis did an interview where he announced to the world that he was a bit short on his child support payments. Like $120,000 short of his child support payments. You see, Travis had a lot of kids, 11 kids to be exact, from 10 different women. His monthly child support when he gave this interview in 2009 was $18,000 per month. $18,000. Condoms are $7 a pack, everyone out there. So just FYI. Naturally, with his playing career behind him and all this money that he had to come up with, he had to figure out what to do, right? So maybe go back to Tennessee, be a running back coach, something, right? Maybe do some TV commentary. You know, that he might be good at that. Maybe became a cocaine kingpin. I don't know. Decisions. Travis settled on the cocaine kingpin. He became a money man for a Florida gang that was importing cocaine from Central America. He fronted them cash, and they brought in the cocaine, otherwise known as yayo, if you're from the streets like I am, and started distributing it. After the first shipment arrived, Travis learned a valuable lesson that drug dealers can't be trusted sometimes.
No, not usually.
One of them got busted.
What kind of world do we live in?
I thought
not trust Central American cocaine dealers.
I thought Yayo was one of those subversive anime manga subgenres.
Yeah, right.
I thought this was America.
Takes place on a ship. And very quickly after his street level member was busted, Travis Henry got pointed out as the money man, I guess, out of this. He would now spend the next 2 decades in and out of jail. Every time he got released, he would try it again, which I kind of like that.
Once you're committed,
right? And then he would always get busted. So I don't know how he came up with money after he got out of jail. I assumed it was Monopoly money, but anyway, thus endeth the tale of Travis Henry, national champion, Pro Bowler, dollar store, Walter White. So welcome to Football Foobar, Mr. Travis Henry.
Wow.
sorry.
Dollar store, Walter White.
Great value, Walter White.
As soon as you said condoms were $7 a package, all I could think of was Rusty doesn't need gadgets to please a lady.
More, Ryan, you got to watch the Venture Brothers, buddy.
You got to. Brock, I'm all out of condom. Would you nip out and grab me one?
All right. That's a foobar. It's time for the dip of the week, the Cedars Tzatziki dip of the week. Mike, you didn't have one last week, but we got one this week. I
got one this week.
All right.
It
Jerry
is.
Jones.
Well, it's kind of a multi-dip. The
Mm.
multi-dip thing.
Double
Woody
dip? A double dip?
It's a double dip. It's Woody Johnson for firing Robert Saleh,
No.
scapegoating him for the absolute train wreck that is the New York Jets. And the other one is, and Drew probably won't love this, is everyone who complained about the hiring of Dan Campbell in Detroit.
Hmm.
Came across this interesting stat. In 2021, he was hired along with Urban Meyer, David Culley, Arthur Smith, Brandon Staley, Robert Saleh, Nick Sirianni. All of those people except Sirianni are fired, and Sirianni is likely to be fired soon.
Yep.
And Dan Campbell has gone 25-9. I think we were wrong. I think he might actually be semi-decent at his job.
He definitely
I
fits
mean,
in well.
we're
with
already
Detroit.
wrong because they already overachieved,
Yep,
right?
that's true.
Will they
So-
sustain? That's the question.
Look, I wonder how long in the NFL sustainability is really possible. Like, unless you have a generational talent at quarterback, is it going to be possible to have a run of more than like 4 to 6 years?
Kind of tough. Look at Joe Burrow.
Mm.
All right. Just Woody. I thought it was a double dip. Who's the other dip?
Everyone who
Us for doubting
Us.
Dan
Oh,
Campbell.
Yeah,
it's us.
right.
Sorry.
Dan Campbell.
We don't deserve
Kind,
that.
kind of like that year that Time Magazine's Person of the Year was you.
Yeah,
We're
right.
all
Oh.
included in this.
We don't deserve that.
Fucking cop out. Name a Person of the Year.
God damn it! Name a person of the year already. It's Hackett.
That's my, Andy,
all right.
my Andy Rooney rant of the day.
Your eyebrows are not nearly bushy enough for that rant, Drew.
True.
We do not.
You know what I hate? Everything.
Oh, it's like Hackett.
No, have a little bit more like this.
That's true. He's got a little bit more
Andy
southern
Rooney.
I
twang.
don't like puzzles over 50 pieces.
Yeah.
All right. We did the sad boy boat. It's us. Game balls. Game ball, Mark. You got one?
Oh, I got one, and it's going to Liberty because they are
Ah.
still undefeated.
I'm giving mine to
right?
Vandy.
Five-time
All right.
undefeated Liberty.
When was the last time we lost? I can't remember.
Oh, I can.
Nope.
Was in that bowl game.
Nope. Doesn't count.
Bowl games don't count if they're not
Nope.
for
Doesn't
anything.
count. Right.
Mine go to Vandy, and whoever at Vandy had the wherewithal to put up the quote about Nick Saban during the game of like, basically the only certainty is you can go to Vandy and win.
Yeah.
Just
Not
great job
anymore.
on their PR team and broadcasting guys. Great job, Vandy.
Not anymore. All right, Drew, you got a game ball?
I have a joking game ball, which goes to, I'm sure there was some brave soul out there who threw caution to the wind and parlayed Minnesota and Washington and Arkansas and Vandy into a small fortune.
I'm sure.
But my actual game ball goes to Sean Mania, who fucking skunked the Phillies today.
That's right.
So take that, you bastard.
Wow.
Let's go, Mets.
The Mets.
I am
Let's go,
absolutely.
Mets.
I am pulling for the Mets and the Tigers.
Okay.
And also,
Because-
I am pulling for the Mets and the Padres because I want no part of the Dodgers.
Oh my God.
Oh.
Absolutely not. That's terrifying.
Nope. That Dodgers team is loaded for bear.
Ridiculous.
And currently the Padres are up
Good.
Good.
6-5 in the middle of the sixth.
Even if they lose and take it to 5, I'll take that.
Yep.
Just wear them down. That's fine.
So yes, Sean Mania gets my game ball.
All right, I'm going to give mine to Joe Flacco because we're the same age and he just did a lot of stuff I can't do in a football
Wait,
game.
you gave your ball to like an NFL player? What's wrong with you?
What the hell's wrong with
Yeah,
you?
right.
You think this is an
What,
NFL
man?
show?
I give mine to Jalen Brown money. Just the
Son of
money,
a-
not the man. All right, there
Mine
you
to
go.
the Venture Brothers, which you
I
should
give
watch.
mine to the Seattle Kraken. I don't know why, but
Oh,
there you
I
go.
like the Kraken.
Because they
Yeah, I
opened
like
the
the
season tonight.
Yeah, they
Drew
played
and I
tonight.
saw a Kraken jersey in person. when
That's
we were
true.
coming
We
to
did.
the
We've got
opening
'em.
game.
We have several. Everyone in the family has got Kraken.
Oh, that's cool.
I've got a Kraken season ticket holder in our family, so
Wow.
we have
That's
lots
cool.
of Kraken paraphernalia. All right, time for plugs. Mike, do you have any plugs? We'll start with you.
No, my hair is luscious, unnecessary.
Yep.
Good,
Don't need it.
good
I'll
hair.
take
You,
that. That's pretty good.
Becky with the good hair over there. What's on Bloody Good Music this week?
Chris came through with his introspective piece on Jimmy Eat World, which, whether or not you like Jimmy Eat World, is really pretty good.
I want to read
I'll have
that.
to read that, yeah.
Did. I don't know if I still do. That's an interesting thought. That's an interesting thought exercise. Do I still like Jimmy Eat World or not?
There is a because again, like
Yeah.
my school has Decades Day for their it's whatever homecoming week, so they do theme days. And actually, ironically, a number of teachers dressed up as me yesterday, which I think is hilarious.
Smart.
They showed up in
Smart.
polo shirts and shorts because that's how I rock things now these days. So it was like 5 teachers got together and dressed as me. Freaking
that's
hilarious. I'm everyone's favorite teacher, I guess. But it's theme day, and the secretary in our office is a former student of mine. She's probably late 20s, and she's like, I'm dressed in his 90s, and she's listing off all of this like grunge shit she's going to, and I was like, and here in my head is like, old man, take a look at the you. It's like, son of a bitch.
It's the Abe Simpson speech. It'll happen to
I gotta unmute myself.
Yeah.
It will happen to you. But no, like with the Jimmy Eat World thing, like I think that there's a certain, maybe it's because I'm 40 and I'm old now. There's a certain nostalgia wave that hits me anytime anything from that like block of time comes on, like the car radio, like anything that could have been in like one of those coming of age teen movies / like what you would have heard at a high school party or early college party in the early 2000s. Like that shit is my jam right now, and I don't know why, but it's kind of great.
You sounded even older when you described it, and you're like, when the music comes on the car radio.
23 Skidoo!
When Marconi invented the radio, it really changed things for us.
Didn't think you'd get a Marconi reference on this NFL podcast. Did
Yeah,
you?
there you go.
Got ourselves a talkie.
The moving pictures are great. They got words in them now.
There's nobody there playing the piano anymore.
All
Right
right.
down to the Nickelodeon, see the new show, eh?
The other plug is the TGIF podcast. We did a podcast last night.
That should go off the rails.
We pivoted to Halloween episodes because of our schedules are nuts. So we want to make sure every year we do the Halloween episode, and it's always one of our best and one of our highest listened to ones. So we had to make sure we did TGIF Halloween.
People are waiting for that podcast.
We have hundreds of people. Woo, hundreds love the Halloween. Stevel's our highest rated thing we've ever done. It has like 1,000 views on YouTube.
I thought the Disney one was the best thing, or the most.
Disney might be our best episode ever.
Have you guys covered the topic of Carl Winslow and Diddy being friends?
Oh God, we can't confirm.
Yeah,
we cannot confirm or deny that. But it went off the rails in a spectacular way, and you can get it right now.
Yes,
podcast is available right now. I just put it up before this show.
Wherever podcasts are sold.
You can get them wherever they are. No student of the week. We're moving on. We're going to week 6. We're getting close to the Orton line. I feel like I know less this week than I did the week before, which is how the NFL wants it to be. But we'll see you next time. Peace out. Caw Nation.
Connie.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.